Hello, my little snowballs. Welcome back to the merriest place on the internet. Today I'm decorating this purple and gold Christmas tree. I was inspired by this bouquet that I found at Goodwill and just ran with it. So I'm going to show you how I decorated it, because that is pretty much the only thing I do here. Starting with ribbon. As usual, gonna make two little loops for a bow and just go to town ribboning this tree. We are choosing to enjoy the lighting issue with this camera. We're just gonna pretend we're watching an old tube TV, you know, like from the olden days. We're gonna choose nostalgia instead of frustration that I refuse to learn the technology of my new camera that I've had for like 2 years now. Anyway, ribbon going first. And then I'm going to put on my apron that I should have already had on but totally forgot to put on until I needed the stuff that's in it. It has all of my tools in it. Scissors, pliers with wire cutters, wires that need the cutting, pipe cleaners, Christmas tree hooks, sometimes my gardening gloves that I use on trees, that kind of stuff. In case you're ever wondering what is in the apron, it is a Christmas tree tool belt. I almost got a tool belt because I thought that'd be cool, but then I realized I already had this apron that I don't ever wear from deep in the lore of my history of having coffee shop aprons. It's a whole thing that I'm not getting into today. We'll do a Q&A one day, maybe, if you want my personal history. What are we going to put on next? What are we gonna put on next? Big stuff, big flowers, big bunches of lilies I got at Dollar Tree like 5 years ago. I don't know if it was that long ago, a long time ago, but this is basically, I have called it I've titled it the whimsical wildflower tree. It's like a flowery fairyland tree with purple and gold flowers and stuff. So we're putting in big flowers because what do we do after ribbon? The big stuff, the stuff that takes up the most space. So I'm putting in my big bunches of purple lilies and then my big golden Christmas flowers. And then we will put the rest of the ornaments on in descending order in size. And then we will add picks, and then we will add topper, and then we will do finishing touches. And then I attempted to put in these giant golden balls. Don't worry, I'll be taking them out momentarily. They didn't work for me. I went in with my ornament clusters. Side note, if you have a theme tree or a tree that you've got like a color palette situation going, ornament clusters are a really good way to put all the things in one cluster. So like this is purple and gold. Putting the purple and gold together in the clusters really ties things together. So it's a nice way to just kind of bring things together, and they look fancy and they're cool and I like them. But as for the balls, these big balls they didn't work for me. Maybe they worked for you, but you can do what you want with big balls. They weren't working for me and this tree proportionally. I'm not saying that I can't handle big balls. I'm just saying that those big balls weren't working for me at this time. Why am I allowed to make videos? Who allows this? Anyway, a few big balls wasn't working for me. I wanted many small balls. So that's what I did, because it's my tree. And that's the rule. The rule is it's your tree in your house and you're the one looking at it. So this is my tree in my house and I'm the one looking at it, as well as the rest of the internet, but that's not the point. The rule is the same rule even if you are going public about Christmas trees and balls. I gotta stop. She put ornaments on a tree. There. Okay, video over. Now that I've composed myself, I am going in with some sprigs of lavender. They say lavender has a calming effect, so maybe that's good for us right now. Anyway, they were a little bit of the inspiration for this tree too. I found the big bouquet that I used as the topper at Goodwill, and I've had these lavender things for a really long time. They're also from Dollar Tree. After the lavender, I went in with the purple foam balls. Only gonna say it one time this time. Hung those as a little statement on the tree. They're really cute. And then I went in with these gold kind of feather. I think they're supposed to be a feather pick. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be a feather or like a very condensed fern, but who cares? That is a detail that is insignificant and irrelevant. So I put those in the tree. They took a second because I only have a few, and this is kind of a more narrow, it's not a full-on slim tree, but it's slimmer than a big regular size. It's just a slimmer, narrow tree. So sometimes it gets tricky to put things in there just for the proportions of it all. So you will see me taking my time with this, which is kind of another bit of a pro tip. Take your time. Like, put things in. If you don't like it, move it. You're not, it's not married to that spot. Things can move around constantly as much as you want. So after the gold feathery picks, I went in with these purple kind of fern picks. I have a lot more of them, and they're not quite as big, and they're a little easier to stick in. So I didn't have to be as careful with them. They can just kind of go in all kinds of places, and they're fun. So, another tip, picks, always have stuff coming out of your tree, give it a more 3D effect. I know it's 3D, but like just think all of the directions, up and down and also out, So now we're moving on to the topper, where you will see I took apart the bouquet that I found at Goodwill. I snipped it all apart so it was individual picks and individual, stems of florals, so that I could, easier to work with. I could just customize where I wanted each stem to be, and I really like how it turned out because there's not too many of any one thing. There's only one or two of each kind of flower and each kind of pick that was in this arrangement. And so like there's just the one giant iris and a couple lavender and things like that. So I like the wildness of it all. And then at the bottom there, I put in a bouquet of purple roses that I have because I only have the one. So that means it goes in the topper if I don't have more than one. Then I added in these gold picks with the little balls on them. They are whimsical and they are fun. And that is all I am going to say. Then I added this gold bow to tie in some ribbon to the topper, and I kind of intermingled it with the roses just so everything is working together, playing nicely together, not one thing here, one thing there. It's like everything's just mashed together and playing nicely. Harmony. Couple of final touches, and adding in some small gold flowers just to fill in any little spaces that might be there, little adjustments, and more of these gold picks, the same that are in the topper. I have a gajillion of these. I accidentally ended up with a gajillion of these when I bought some thrifted. It's a whole big, long, stupid story, but I have a whole bunch, so they're going to be in like every tree this year. But just to tie it all together, so you can't, just so that what's in the topper ties into the tree, everyone working together, again, harmony. And I really like how this turned out. The wild factor, this kind of chaotic, but still very pretty, glamorous, but also unhinged. Unhinged glamour. That's the theme, I guess. I don't know. I liked how it was both a meadow and a Christmas tree. There were these 3 flowers, these 3 stems in the bouquet, the original bouquet that was put in the topper, that I stuck in to kind of keep that long purple flower vibe that's in the topper throughout the tree, and they added a really cool pick effect where they're kind of floppy. I just love how it turned out. Here she is. I hope you love it as much as I do. Thank you so much for being here. And until we meet again, sparkle on.